Coaches always want more sales, but they're going about it completely wrong. They're being the nice guy coach. Just like in dating, if you're trying to court a woman and you are being the nice guy, trying to say, I'm different to all of these other guys, we all know that they finish last, right? And it is the exact same in business. If you're a coach that's trying to be a nice guy, trying to be different to all of these coaches, afraid to sell, you are going to be beaten by the coach who is not afraid to sell. If you're being a nice guy coach, this is the exact reason why you've got a huge list of leads that have been there for ages and are not doing anything. This is exactly why you're stuck in the DMs talking to prospects about their dog or their latest holiday and it's not going anywhere. This is exactly why you're giving away loads of free information, loads of free things, helping people for free and never actually getting paid by them. If that's you, I'm going to show you 5 steps that you need to take to fix this right now and start making sales in your business again. It's going to be a bit of a mindset shift if you're anything like that, but that's exactly what you need. So let's get stuck in. So number 1, nice and simple. The first mindset shift that needs to occur here is simply don't be afraid to sell, right? You're in business. This is what we're trying to do. The biggest problem with these coaches is they feel like it's immoral to actually be selling. They feel like it is doing someone a disservice, which is completely the opposite. Really, it's doing someone a service to actually sell to them. Now, I want you to imagine, right, that you have got a nail stuck in your finger, like a building nail, right, stuck into your finger, and it's hurting, and you go to a private doctor, and you turn up at the private doctor's, it's bleeding right now, you're in pain, and you sit down and you say, doctor, help me, I'm in pain, my finger is bleeding. And he goes to you, well, he thinks in his head, I'm not like all the other doctors. I'm not a horrible salesman. I'm not going to sell this person. I'm going to show him how different I am. And he gives you a little pamphlet, a little free pamphlet, a little lead magnet, a little pamphlet, right? And he goes, why don't you have a read through this? Why don't you have a read through this free pamphlet that's going to give you all the information on a bleeding finger and what to do about it? He walks away and he's thinking in his head, I'm different to all the other coaches. This guy's going to love me. He's going to sign up eventually. What are you going to do? Are you going to read that pamphlet? Or are you going to go find the next doctor in the next room and say, can you fix my finger? Will you take my money and fix me? Probably the latter. And that is exactly what coaches are doing all of the time. They are feeling like it's a bad thing to sell and not selling and giving away free things instead, thinking I'm being different to all the other coaches, when really what's actually happening is you're putting away the people that are actually in pain and actually want help. In coaching, we are solving problems for people and changing their lives. The people that we want to speak to are the people that have a nail in their finger right now and it's bleeding, right? The people that we want to appeal to and we want to help are the people that are in pain right now. So if we're not selling and we're trying to be this nice guy, first of all, we're actually pushing away the people that actually want help now. So then when we look back at the experience of a nice guy coach and they've got all of these leads that aren't actually doing anything and they're wondering why, it's quite obvious because you're not appealing to the people that actually want help now. You're trying to be the nice guy, make friends, and hope they like you enough to actually sign up eventually. So that's number 1. Just do not be afraid to sell. Understand that that is what we do in this business. And once someone pays, you can then solve their problem and do what you do best, right? Nice and simple. That's the first mindset shift. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more tactical. Cool. Maybe you believe me now. Okay, I'm going to change my mindset a little bit. I'm going to sell a little bit harder. How do we actually do this? So how we do this is, ready? Run actual campaigns. So most of these nice guy coaches are posting and hoping someone comes through. They think it's a bad look if they're selling on their social media platform, their email list or anything else. So they're kind of just posting and hoping. And every now and then they might put out a little call to action. I'm looking for 5 people. And then it just kind of, fizzles out. And they just do that every now and then and kind of hope for the best. This is not a way to grow a business. right? I had a client once. We worked together for a year. He had a really good year, and he might have, I don't know how many clients he signed anymore, but he signed a certain amount of clients, right? And just recently, he stopped working with me at the start of this year. Just recently, I dropped him a message and just saw how he was getting on. He's a friend of mine as well. And this year, since he stopped working with me, he kind of started to be a bit more of like an influencer and less of a coach. He's still running a coaching business, but his content looked like an influencer's business, right? And he told me that this time now versus this time last year, he's making half the sales that he had made last year, right? And we looked about at what he'd been doing and everything else, because like I said, he's my friend, I want to help him out. He'd stopped running campaigns. He'd stopped running campaigns at all, and he wasn't making anywhere near the sales that he'd made last year, when the only change was he was making campaigns, right? He was running campaigns. There was a start, there was an end date, and he was actually selling his program publicly and not being afraid of it the year before. So I told him, just go and run a campaign. He knew how to do it. We worked together before. 2 weeks later, he'd run his campaign, and he had made a third of the sales he'd made all year in that week because he finally ran a campaign, right? So don't be afraid to run actual campaigns. Most coaches don't do this. Like I said, they just do a random call to action and that's it. So how do we actually run a campaign? It's very simple, right? We have a start date and an end date. Easy, right? Inside of that, we have an offer. The offer wants a reason why now. Because here's the reality. When you're selling coaching, you're selling most of the time a luxury product that also is painful for people to go through the transformation, right? So whatever you're selling, it's a luxury first and foremost. And secondly, it requires effort and time on their part to still get the result. It's not always going to be a done for you thing, right? What this means is people are going to put the saying yes and actually signing up off and off and off, just like they do with their goals in normal life anyway. So if we're not giving them a reason to move now, then people are just going to sit on the fence for as long as they like, right? So first of all, we give them an offer with a reason to move now. Why should they sign up before the end of the period? Usually this is going to be like 5 to 7 days. Sometimes we'll have a pre-launch week as well where we start to hype it up. We have a 5 to 7 day window. And in this window, we are intense. Every single post is talking about the offer you're making, why it's useful, and why they need to move now instead of at a later date, right? This will get you so many more clients when you just start thinking like this. Inside this campaign, if you're wondering what we're trying to do, we're trying to sell them on ideas, right? So first of all, we sell them on present pain. We make them aware of the present pain that they're currently experiencing right now, and we show them to the future gain, right? So you're experiencing this right now. The more present it is, the better. The more real it is, the better. If they felt it this day or this week, the better. Much better than talking about a problem that might occur down the line. And then we can say, once we've sorted this, you're going to be here, which is the future gain. Next, we sell them on present plan versus your plan. Right? So most of the people that you're going to sign up have either tried this before or they are trying this currently, right? So we want to show them that we understand that. We want to show them that we understand their present plan. We want to tell them why this plan isn't going to work. And we want to tell them why your plan, what your plan is first and foremost, and then why your plan is actually going to work. And then the final thing is price. We need to sell them on the idea of the price. And the way that we do that is sell them on the price of staying the same. Right, we do this across timer. Timer is time, identity, money, energy, and reputation. We think about what is the price if they stay the same in their time, their identity, their money, their energy, and their reputation, and we seed all this into the campaign. Right, so we have a clear start date, a clear end date, a reason why they need to move now. And we sell them on these ideas, present pain, present plan, and price, all of the way through. This is how people are getting, 7, 8, 10 clients in a week just by running a campaign. So now you're probably wondering, okay, cool, I can do that once, but what do I do next? You're probably wondering, once I've done that once, what else can I sell them? So the third thing to get out of this nice guy mode and get into a coach that sells and actually makes sales mode is sell different offers, right? So we can't just keep doing the same campaign over and over again, because your audience goes deaf to it. Your audience stops listening, your audience stops caring, and eventually it doesn't work. So what we do is we sell different offers, right? So let's say you have a program and it looks like this. You've got like 6 different things inside the program. And maybe on campaign one, you sell the whole thing. You sell the whole program and you do good. And maybe even on campaign 2, you do that as well. But eventually it starts to get a little bit less, right? So then what we do is we break it down. So then we take half of that. So maybe we break it down to a 6-week program with, focusing on just a smaller part of it. And we sell this, right? So then the campaign looks different. We articulate it different. It seems like a one-time opportunity for people, but they end up, once they've bought it, into the same place. And then maybe down the line from there, let's find a different one. Let's do green. You even sell a tiny part of it. This could even just be a workshop or a one-time thing that they just come in and do with you. And we can sell one thing, run a campaign around that. And again, this is just getting more people out of your audience and turning them into buyers. So eventually they can join the entire thing. So that's number 3. So far we understand you can't be afraid to sell. You must start doing actual campaigns, and you can run these campaigns even every 2 weeks if you wanted to, because we can sell different things. We can sell big things, we can sell small things, we can sell sprint offers, and all of these are never going to complicate your delivery, because you're only taking things that you're already doing anyway, that you've already got inside the program. You're selling that, and the people that are joining the program anyway and just getting certain parts of it. So now that we're running campaigns, now that we're selling different offers, you're probably wondering, okay, but what do I do to make sales when I'm not running campaigns and I'm not doing these things, right? So this is where we begin to teach through your program. Spelled that a bit wrong, who cares? So where a lot of coaches go wrong is they see their coaching and their content as 2 separate entities. They're over here doing their coaching, they're over here helping clients and stuff, and then they turn up to create content and they just think, cool, what tip shall I teach them today? What tip shall I share? And that's kind of all they do, right? And when I sign up a new client and I look for their content, oftentimes they're doing this. And there's one change that we make, which is to teach through their program. And when they start to do this, straight away they start to get way more inbound leads. What this means is, instead of saying, let's just take a fitness example, here's how to eat more protein, right? Which is really, really, really boring piece of content anyway. But let's say that they did this. Instead of here's how to eat protein, you say, here is how the clients inside X program are being able to eat 2 times more protein every day, much easier, because we do this, right? It might seem like it's just a small change, but what you're doing is, instead of just saying tips, you're showing how you do it on the inside of your program. What this does is it makes them aware every single post that you do that you have a program, and it makes them aware that inside the program, you've got certain ways to actually solve the problem. Now, the way that we do this and actually make it unique and actually make it bring in inbound leads every single week is we create what's called we create what's called an idea ecosystem, right? So the idea ecosystem is your unique methodology, your aspirational identity, and the big idea. Big idea is that one thing that they need to be bought into to buy from to need to buy from you and to need to buy into your program. So what we do, instead of just saying random things, every single post that you do is talking about your unique methodology and how that solves the problem. So even though you're just sharing still useful, insightful pieces of information. You're not just saying random tips. You're not just giving them things that they can go and do. You're showing how your mechanisms, your unique methodology that you have created is able to solve their problem. This is the thing that can start to get people actually messaging you, wanting to buy from you and nobody else, right? So they are 4 big things that need to be done to start to make sales. Now, there's one more mindset shift. This is a mindset shift that some people, even when I say it, don't like it, but this is the reality. Are you ready? 5. Your audience, are you ready? Is there to find you 100 people to, this is quite a long one, pay you this year. It is not your business. This is the final mindset shift that you need to make to stop being the nice guy coach and start making sales consistently every single week inside your business, which is realizing your audience is not your business. Your audience is not your business. Your audience is an asset inside your business that you are using to be able to find the 100 people that are going to sign up with you this year. That is all it is. The reason why this mindset shift is so important is because the thing that keeps coaches as the nice guy coach afraid to sell is they are afraid to alienate their audience. They're afraid that their audience isn't going to like them anymore if they sell to them, which is stupid, because if your audience is not going to like you anymore if you sell to them, what's the fucking use of your audience if it isn't to sell to them, right? So there's one thing to realize here, which is you get the audience you create. If you have built an audience on giving away loads of free things, never selling, making that part of your kind of mindset and what you do, you will at this point have built up an audience of people who want free things, who want free advice, who want free lead magnets that don't actually want to buy and are going to get offended if you do. But that is not useful to your business. Again, this is exactly why you have loads of leads, but no one's actually moving anywhere. If you begin to sell, and you begin to sell knowing that it's okay to sell, and actually if someone buys from you, it's one of the most transformative things that they're going to do all year or potentially even in their life. When you start to take this mindset and you start to actually sell, guess what? The people that you don't want in your audience anyway, the people that are going to be offended if you're selling to them, are going to leave. And you're going to build up an audience of people that are absolutely fine with you selling to them because they understand that you're running a business and they understand that the people that are buying are actually being left in a way better position when they say yes versus when they don't. So understand this. Stop feeling like you're a prisoner to your audience. Stop feeling like you don't want to make them upset because you're selling, and understand that staying in that mindset is going to be the reason why you're not making sales, because you're creating this audience of people that do not want to buy from you instead of audience that are okay with buying from you. And the final part of this as well, just so we don't have this big list of leads that never move anywhere, is don't take maybes, right? Maybes are what can kill you psychologically and can kill the business, because you hover around these people that are maybes, that are maybe later, all of these people, you hover around them for way too long and you waste your energy on the people that are not moving forwards instead of finding new people that will do. People like to leave the maybes as maybes. Coaches like to leave them as maybes because it makes them feel like they got more leads. But in the reality, they're never signing up, or they're right now not signing up, and they're not worth the energy, right? So when we do not take maybes, this is how we do it. Number one, when we make an offer to someone, give them a deadline, okay? If you make an offer, whether it's from a DM, whether it's in a call, whatever it is, say, hey, love to take you on. This is how it works. I'm going to give us a deadline of here, just so this is not being staying as an open loop and we know where we stand. Give them a deadline at least within that week, a couple of days usually. The beauty of this, not only are you not being left with maybes and you know exactly where you stand. At the same time, they are being given a no because so many people stay in maybe land and don't move forwards from maybe land because they love the experience of all possibilities being open to them at one time. They love the experience of I could do it and I could also not do it. And right now, all of these possibilities are open to me. So when you give them the no, it's even useful to them because it closes the reality, one of the realities, and they need to actually make a decision. So it can close the loop in your mind, but it can also close the loop in their mind so they know what they're actually doing as well. And if it's not a good fit, they can move on and find someone else too. So do not take maybes. Don't feel like a slave to your audience. Don't be the nice guy, and understand that your audience is there so you can find the people that are going to buy from you and move on fast if they're not. So this was how to stop being the nice guy coach and start actually making sales. I know that some of this might seem harsh, but this is the reality. We're running businesses, right? And this is how you actually run a business. Hope that was useful. If you want to work with me personally, go to the link below and you can see everything that's involved. And if you want to work together, we can do.